by Shakespeare where Richard III says he'd give up his kingdom for a horse. I know what he means. Your brains must come from your mother, said Mr. Bass, as he patted his daughter on the head. Thank the Lord for that. He poured her a cup of tea, looked at his wife, and then back at his daughter. Now, Charlie, he said, your mother and I wanted to talk to you about something. He cleared his throat. I'm afraid there might have to be some changes at the farm. It's getting harder and harder to make the numbers add up, and what with milk being so cheap, I don't know how much longer we can afford to keep the cows. Charlie's mouth dropped open. Her father loved those cows, and she knew he'd be miserable without Jane Eyre and Madonna and even grumpy old Princess Anne. Mr. Bass tried to smile as he carried on talking. The boys will be back soon, and we thought we might have a family meeting, just to let you all know what's happening. Charlie nodded, but her mind was racing. It sounded to her as if her parents needed a financial solution, and fast. She liked to think of money-making ideas. This would be fun. Her father was trying so hard to sound positive, but she knew he was counting on her, even if he didn't know it himself. She resolved to corner her brothers the moment they got home, warn them about the family meeting, and see if they had any clever ideas up their sleeves. She didn't know what nonsense they might come up with, but it was worth a shot. And I'll put my thinking cap on, said Charlie to herself. She really did have a thinking cap. It was an old felt cap that used to be in her dressing-up box. Whenever Charlie put it on, she found she could focus better, as if her brain was linked into an energy force. She finished her tea and headed upstairs to try it out. After supper, which was meant to be an omelette but ended up a scrambled egg with bits in it, Mr. Bass opened the family meeting. As you may know, he began, looking at his wife, it's been difficult recently to make ends meet on the farm. Charlie sat up straight in her chair and took a deep breath. We need to think creatively, she said. Her father looked at her in surprise. She went on before Mr. Bass could respond. We need to think of something that can earn us money, and fast, something that makes us stand out from the crowd. I know, shouted Harry, who always liked to be first with an idea. We could have a show here on the farm, not like a normal show where all the animals parade round, more like an entertainment show. That's a brilliant idea, said Larry. We could do pony rides. We haven't got a pony, Charlie pointed out mournfully. I know, said Larry. Our pony rides would be really different because they'd be on a cow. He beamed with satisfaction. Their parents looked from one child to the next, their mouths open. And we could have a dancing competition, said Harry. A dancing competition? Frowned Mrs. Bass. Yes, said Harry. But for chickens, we can call it Strictly Come Chicken Dancing, and everyone from around the county can bring their chickens to enter. They could do a waltz, or a jive, or a foxtrot. A foxtrot for chickens, laughed Harry. That's genius. I could stream it on my YouTube channel, added Harry, who was far more interested in computers than animals. I bet it'd go viral. Charlie shook her head. Her brothers certainly had imagination, if not much common sense. What about a bake-off? Volunteered Mrs. Bass excitedly. I could make lots of cakes and we can sell them in the village shop. The children hesitated. None of them wanted to dash her hopes. That's a great idea, darling, said Mr. Bass. We all love your cakes, but, he hesitated, I don't know that the village is ready for them yet. Exactly, said Harry and Larry together. Besides, said Harry, you'll be too busy running the show to be baking cakes. And, added Larry, we need the eggs for something else. He paused and looked around the table, making sure he had everyone's attention. There are these painted eggs, called Fabergé eggs, and they sell for millions of pounds. We just need to paint a few of ours with beautiful colours, and we'll make a fortune. He sat back and crossed his arms. Sweetheart, said Mrs. Bass, that's a brilliant idea, but Fabergé eggs aren't real eggs. They're made of gold and precious stones like diamonds and rubies. That's why they're so valuable. Oh. Larry looked crestfallen. You've been very quiet, Charlie, said her dad. Wasn't this whole thing your idea? He winked at her to encourage her to share. Well, said Charlie, taking a deep breath, it might sound just as crazy, but I think